it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. So I was getting a channeled message and I just needed to sit down and try to get this all out because it was coming through here in my head. And for those of you who watched our live stream that came out right before this one, it was what they like about you. I feel like this is somehow connected to some piles here in that reading, particularly maybe maybe all of them. I don't know, but some things I'm pulling from pile 3, some things I'm remembering pulling from pile 2, but I'm getting this message that's coming through here about a masculine energy that somehow you are involved with or you're at some kind of like crossroads with. And I feel like this masculine energy is either being presented with a lesson, if this is happening in real time, like by being confronted with your energy. It's like spirit is offering up some kind of new path for him, like via you. Or this is somebody from your past where you were at that crossroads moment here with this masculine where spirit was opening up that new path for him. But maybe you went on the path separate from each other. And now this man is kind of receiving his karma by looking in the mirror, by seeing what it is that he has built and by kind of deconstructing his own existence, but he's kind of having to weigh it against his own heart, if that makes sense. Now, I'm getting though that some of the things that he's learning I'm getting that you learned a lot in this relationship. You are learning your own worth and your own value. And I feel like this is where you're kind of coming across in that pile 3 energy from the live stream, where you're seeing a mirroring between you and this man that maybe you did not expect to see in a partner, and it has something to do with like a matching in your personalities and your sense of humor and the wit and maybe the way that the conversation kind of flows between the two of you. You see this man having qualities and traits that you have in yourself that you never really expected to see in a person, okay? And even if you did see them in a person, you kind of know that you're a bit of a purple unicorn with whatever traits I'm describing here, in the sense that you know that people who usually have the traits that you have also come with a whole host of maybe other traits that might be more shallow or more maybe have some kind of like difficulty associated with it. So it's like you're not the way that you come across. You have a depth to you is what I want to say. And you are, I think this has to do with being relationship minded. Like you're fun and you're interesting, and that's kind of coming across on a superficial level, but really there's nothing superficial here about your energy. So when you've met this masculine energy, you're kind of wondering if he meets you in that space or if he doesn't. But I think you would have gotten out of something here, like I was saying in that pile 3 reading, that was very binding to you. And so you're at a stage, like when you either now, like you're meeting this man now, like in real time, this is a real crossroads, or for some of you, like when you met this man in the past, you had just come out of whatever this was that was very binding, and you were actually looking forward to your own freedom, and maybe going on vacation with your friends and not having to worry about where he wants to go on vacation and if it's the same place, or where you want to go, for, it's like, I think you came out of something that was very, like I said, binding. But it was very, just very binding, whatever it was, maybe very karmic between you and another person. So you were looking forward to that freedom. So when you were confronted with his energy, you were in this really good place of maybe take it or leave it. It's like, this is really interesting. I am open to it. If he's going to, be paying attention to me, I'm really not into being disrespected or being juggled or anything like that. But I am open to something that feels a little more colorful and a little bit more free. And if he turns out to match my energy, I'll match his energy back, but I'll be surprised. If he doesn't, then I'm not going to get too discouraged about it. Like I think you're very much into your own space and like into your own freedom, and that's fine with you here as well. Now, for some of you, you sit at this crossroads here where this man is kind of being forced with a choice because there's a lot of chemistry here between the two of you, and I'm seeing spirit light a match. Like there's a lot of fire here between the two of you, and that's that very Ace of Wands energy. That's that match that I'm seeing lit. And the match is, I think, illuminating certain things. And I'm seeing him hold this match. And it's like he's going to throw it in one direction or another. And I'm not necessarily consciously, but that match is going to get thrown, okay? Metaphorically. And he's going to like basically burn or like blow up something here. And I think Spirit is hopeful that he is going to... I'm seeing him like light on fire a pile of dirty old clothes. that smells like him, but it's like, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm smelling like sweat mixed with alcohol and, I don't know, but it's like the old version of who he was, like is kind of going by the wayside. And I do think that there could be a friends group here that is involved, or peer pressure or something that expects him to be a certain way. And it's how he thought he was cool is by living up to these people's kind of like expectation, but he's realizing that it doesn't actually feel very good, and that actually this kind of new brighter path is where his energy is naturally wanting to go. So he's growing. He's being offered being able to like mature and to change and transform and to become something different. And I'm hearing to actually like himself. And again, he's being presented with your energy much the same way you're being presented with his energy, where he was really not expecting to meet somebody like you, but since he has now this is the other thing that's a part of this like old pattern, okay? And for some of you, this pattern, if this is a past energy and this man's just like kind of being confronted with this and having to reflect on his decisions that he's made with you in the past and where it has led him, then I think there's a certain pattern that has continued, where I think this man actually, he's in this karmic cycle where he gets his needs met, his quote unquote relational needs, by at least, I kind of want to say like at least three, I'm hearing three or more people, okay? So he kind of, what he does is he fragments out, and it's kind of a way in his mind, and this is a functioning dysfunction of spreading out like the risk of maybe being found inadequate. That's where this comes from, okay? The way that he kind of lives his life. And I think he lives his life cool guy. You know, there's something, oh yeah, because I never really commit to anyone or anything. You can't tame me. And, you know, I'm like, I don't know, it's like Mr. Steal Your Girl or something here like that. Let me just go let my cat out real quick. Okay, like I was saying, like he's some like a player, suave, can't hold me down. Like he doesn't think that's cool to like be a one woman or a one man, you know, person. He's in a group. He's learned that he's somehow had that like reinforced to him that he just doesn't think that's cool. But I think his soul really does actually think that's cool and really does want that path to open up. But I think it's maybe kicking up some fears around that as well. And I think the fear, like I was saying, is a fear of inadequacy and a feeling of not being enough and a fear of insecurity. So he likes to keep every compartmentalized. That's what it is. And I think the way this kind of shakes out is he'll get his sexual needs met by one person, and there's a hidden energy around this. So there could be somebody or maybe multiple people that he's sleeping with that or he keeps hidden, or maybe they hide him, but it's just a sexual connection, and this person really does not satisfy him in any other way. There's another person that he might have on his arm that he presents like as a girlfriend, as a boyfriend, that kind of lines up with all the shoulds that he has in his life. He should be this and he should present this certain way, right? But he's really not that way because he's got this whole clandestine kind of existence, right? So there's another person like that. And then there might be another person here who he has a kid with. And again, I don't think it was done very consciously. I don't think, this is tough. This isn't me saying this. I'm kind of picking this up from his energy. It's not really his pride and joy because again, he did not select this person to do that with. You know, I'm kind of hearing this was meant to be a 2 to 4 a.m. relationship. And I don't even think there was much like, this person's in a different category than this person who satisfies him sexually even. Like I'm kind of hearing like it was convenient and that person was like willing and they're kind of like a step down or something. So they don't necessarily want to be seen with them in public or anything. But this person is, again, mirroring his insecurity and wanting people to know that they're connected that way. And the way that they're going to do that is maybe by like having his child or something. And it's a way, because he doesn't really care about this person and they don't really have a right to get mad about that, because I think that he's been very upfront about it. But if they have a child, then it's like via the child, they get to kind of throw stones at him and say, you should care more about me, or you should care more about this child, which is really this person's way of kind of trying to wrestle like him caring more. So all of these people that he's with, they all kind of mirror his own insecurity back, and they're all karmic to each other. And we've talked about this on the channel before, how this is kind of a karmic formation where they're all actually not good for each other, and they're all kind of pulling each other away from lives, because it's not just partners that would be better for them and love and appreciate each one of these people in their fullest expression, because not even for all these people is that going to be the ultimately most fulfilling life. And I think that might actually shock some of these people. They're meant to go like on an adventure, or I'm hearing like some kind of like artistic community or like society or something, like, but they're not like really free to go on their own energy. Now, in all these people, they're mirroring back, like, again, his own kind of fragmented sense of self, his own insecurity in some way, his own maybe controlling nature in some way. Like the sexual person is like, you know, why don't you love me? You know, and then this person that he's with is like, maybe just saying like, maybe it's the same between both of them. Like, I just need you to come to my family's house, smile for the cameras. Like, I don't know. Like, it's all I think that he's going to reach a point, like for some of you where this crossroads between the two of you happened in the past, there could be, again, this kind of karmic swell, like a wave kind of coming to a swell, coming to a climax, coming to a head, where all these people are kind of turning on him, and they're like, I'm seeing them turn around and like all kind of hold a mirror up like to him, and they're pointing their fingers at him, at his shortcomings and the ways in which he has legitimately hurt these people or reduced them or basically used them. But they're all using each other here as well, and I think that's part of what hurts, because they're all like reflecting this back. This is all something that they all need to set each other free, basically, by setting themselves free and by dealing with their own internal stuff, their own internal gunk, because they all have kind of settled for this energy or this situation instead of choosing something that is of their own heart energy and makes them feel full and like fulfilled and satisfied. That's where I feel like you kind of come in, because you are, for some of you, you're here, and for some of you, this is in the past, you represent all these things here to this masculine energy. Like you are a place, a person, and he recognized this on some level. Even if he was trying to distract from it, even if he was trying to like run from it, where he could feel sexually fulfilled, where he could feel relationally fulfilled, and you kind of check all the boxes here, right? He wouldn't be hiding you. He would bring you proudly around his friends and family, and it's not a weird thing. You challenge him in the right ways, you go along with him in the right ways, right? And you could potentially have a family, whatever family you want, together. And all of this would be like very healthy. The routines would be healthy. And I'm hearing the phrase, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So you and your relationship is like, there's a wholeness here where he can get you're his match, you're his equal. That's what it is. I don't think this man expected to meet his equal. There's always been some level of control dynamics. And it reminds me of something I said in the live stream where I was talking about in the patriarchy, there cannot be love without control, because he's always kind of learned that. But also that goes hand in hand with his self-esteem issues, because he does have self-esteem issues. And you're basically, he looks at you kind of through the lens of fear, because you're a person who could really hurt him, because if you reject him, it would be for legitimate reasons, and he would feel that. He would feel kind of like inadequate. And so what he's done is he's kind of fragmented this out, because he can go get another sexual partner to satisfy him, because this person's not satisfying him in any other way. He can replace this. He can go get another relationship partner that is going to fulfill how he needs to look like to society. But with this relationship partner, I am getting that it's kind of like a low hum. It's like a and it's a term that I recently learned that I've been thinking about ever since. It's called a tolerable level of permanent unhappiness here, like with the partner. So it's not making him, it's not that Ace of Wands energy sort of a thing, right? And then you have this person over here where he's got maybe a kid with, and it's restricting him in some way, contract, like child support, and he's, all that. So he can kind of like fill these in, almost like if a person leaves a job, like they can put out a new job application and somebody else, you know what I'm saying? But there's no replacing you, because I think it's a tall order, and you're you. Like you are this unique blend of traits, and the sum is greater than the whole of its parts. You check all the boxes that this man or woman, I'm really getting masculine energy here, knows that he wants in a person, but then even you're kind of showing him other things that he actually does value, and there are other like little side effects. And I think one of the major side effects is that he actually likes himself more, like when he's with you, because he is actually living up to his expectations of himself. He's turning some negative patterns around, because also the longer he's in this, like it's taking no less than 3 people, I feel like, here. And not all of them have to be sexual partners, by the way, because maybe one of these people is like a therapist or a friend or something, but it's taking no less than 3 people to basically just even fill your shoes in some kind of capacity. But it's not, you fill them and then some, because it's the sum is greater than or the whole is greater than the sum of its parts energy, like with you. But yeah, it's taking no less than 3 people. But the longer he interacts with this, because this is a karmic formation, and of course he's being less than integral, I don't think that he's living up to his own expectations, and he's not treating any one of these people with like respect and dignity and decency and the fullness of the attention and the honoring, because it's just, there's the alchemy between these people is just not there. So it's like he's flushing himself down a toilet. That's what I'm seeing. Like energetically, he's karmically, he's got himself in a karmic loop where he builds worse and worse and worse karma for himself, because he's not, all these people are not treating each other very well. There's a lot of drama, maybe a lot of fights, they're just replenishing in themselves that feeling of insecurity. And I think you're meant to not get sucked into that, because this man chose this other lifestyle, and he might present on the outside like he's flying high, living fun and fancy free. But really all this, you don't see all this kind of going on in the background because he's trying to hide it. And I don't know if Spirit's going to let this man continue to hide it. It might come out. It might, his higher self, I'm hearing his soul might actually come in and out him, on the physical, just because the soul doesn't want to, fall anymore. The soul doesn't want to digress anymore. He's getting himself in a worse and worse hole. He's choosing darkness is really what it is. And so Spirit, so then you might compare yourself unfavorably to this because he never honored who you are, because he displaced his own insecurity and he just pushed it onto you and maybe treated you like you were not important. I think this kind of bit him in the butt. He was trying to control you. So another part of his karma here, besides kind of like learning his effect on people, and that he was presented with an equal, and it scared him because he operates on control. And people who operate on control oftentimes are controlled. I'm kind of getting an addiction, like addicted to the drama, maybe having an addiction to the substance. But probably, I mean, somebody here who's got a child over him is obviously holding the reins over him. So they oftentimes get controlled, right? You're playing with fire here. That's that match analogy in a bad way. But I think another aspect of this is that it is for you not to think less of yourself. And whatever shards of glass, because I'm seeing he was maybe trying to cut you, or he was trying to play some kind of game with you here in the past to gain that control over you emotionally. That's entirely how he's approached his life. He was supposed to light the match and light that part of himself on fire, metaphorically, to transmute that and to choose a different way and to learn how to participate in a healthy, productive relationship and to feel how fulfilling that is. And the feeling I'm getting is like skinny dipping in the ocean, where it feels like, you know, it's going to be fun and you know it's going to feel kind of free, but it feels more fun and more free than you even like expected. And it just feels so natural. And it's like, why would you choose something else? Like once you've experienced that, like that was Spirit's offering to this man, you know, but instead I think he chose to play some kind of game with you. And if that's the case, part of his karma is that the shards of glass he was trying to rake you over, causing you pain, making you feel inadequate, trying to make you feel like you needed to compete for his attention with people who frankly do not hold a candle to you, at least in terms of the alchemy between you and this man. I'm not talking about every single person has worth and value, right? But we have alchemy in the things and the people and the places that are meant for us. And none of these people hold a candle to you as far as this man is concerned. But he was willing to play a little game with you and push his hurt into you rather than clean up his own act. And I think Spirit is kind of raking him over those coals, where he gets a taste of his own medicine, but he's like, I'm hearing he's lying in like the bed that he made, but it's a bed of like, I'm just seeing broken glass and broken mirrors. And he's really broken a lot in his life, like relationally speaking. But I think this is a man who, he displaces, like he fragments his life, and he knows he's not doing right by these people, but he thinks that they don't know. And so as long as he can get away with it and try to, again, push everything onto other people's plate, like, I just don't think that's working anymore, to where he has to realize that he is the root cause of like his issues. And like, for those of you where this is like a crossroads, you know, he might be being faced with this choice here right now. Like, is he going to kind of turn this corner and be somebody different? Because if you're meeting this person at a crossroads, they do have the propensity and the potential and the desire to be somebody different, but they need to come at you the right way. I wouldn't tolerate any game playing from this person. Nothing but absolute above board honesty and vulnerability, because this man cares about you and he needs to admit that he cares about you, and that maybe he's been a certain way in the past, and that he actually has these feelings where he wants to be different, and he's willing to try that, but he needs to kind of put himself on the table here, and he needs to be determined above all else to treat not just you but himself, because this is a form of self-abuse what he's got going on here. And I don't think you should feel too bad for him, because you don't want to get sucked into his whirlpool of that victim, persecutor, rescuer, because he's all those things to himself. That, like I said, this is a form of self-abuse what he's got going on, and it's fine to feel compassion, you know, like towards him, but just know your place. Because again, I think that there's a happy horizon here for you regardless. I feel the freedom energy kind of coming in for you, the happiness energy. And I'm hearing, I am going to live a beautiful life no matter what. I'm going to experience happiness and freedom, because you don't lead by control tactics and game playing. It's beneath you. And you know it's beneath you. And you would just never want to treat another human being like this. But all these people are in some way invested in lying to themselves, feeding a delusion, and trying to gain their self-worth by controlling things outside of themselves, circumstances. They'll insert a fight, and this is keeping these people very preoccupied. But eventually they'll want to leave the playground and try to mature themselves. And that's what you want for all of these people. And for some of these people, like that he's involved with, I think they could have left relationships that were very good for them, because maybe this man is very attractive, but and he might use that to try to take what's not his, and he thinks that makes him cool or strong and not gross and a worm and a weasel and pathetic. But for some of these people, it's like their forever person had not come in yet, because Spirit is trying to get them to see that they're settling for less than they need to, like all these people that are involved with this man, so that when their partner comes in, they can see what the real thing looks like and what it feels like to be treated better and whole, and when somebody's bringing their full self to the table and not just dicking them around. So there's karmic lessons going on here for everyone, and you hope that everyone is getting their healing and their liberation and their freedom from this situation. But in the meantime, I feel like part of the karmic lesson is this man needs to learn that there is consequences to his behavior, to his actions. He might just be used to finessing a situation. Maybe this man was really coddled as a child. Like the fact that he was manipulating people would be like, oh, boys would be boys, instead of like, no, this is not a way to treat people, and there's consequences to this. I think you were the first real consequence that this person has like had to contend with, is knowing that heaven exists and that he can't get her, or that he hurt her, and he can't get his way out of this, and that there's nobody to blame but himself. And I'm seeing all these, there could be multiple people in this person's life just like reflecting back at them that they created this. They're the one that treats people with like secrecy, maneuvering, game playing. Yeah, and I'm hearing play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So that was a lot of information here. Yeah, I think this person has a lot of love for you. They want to like offer you their heart here. I think they actually want something like pretty traditional. But this person's been poisoning themselves. And yeah, they have. So let's just see if there's anything else, and then I'm just going to wrap this up. Yeah, he is having to do some reflecting of who he's been in the past. And he swallowed the truth when he needed to be expressing the truth. And now he's realizing that, or he's meant to. Either now, like for some of you, I think you just met this person, and this is for those of you, and I'm not trying to make you feel too down about like who this person is, because some of you, this person is going to act right. They're going to choose a happier path. And I know people like this who like started off pretty rocky, but the thing that you see about them most clearly is their love for each other. And it really has a healing effect. It really, really does. But everybody's got to be behaving in an integral way. So for some of you, this person is going to be able to do this. I just don't want you to be too pie in the sky about it. And you should have a realistic understanding of the fact that this person is turning a corner in themselves, and that they have not practiced healthy relational skills. And that will be something you guys build and practice together moving forward. And that he needs to come to the table like he's a newbie in regards to that, because that's what he is. But I feel like this person swallowed the truth in the past. This is like very much poisoning the self, but still feeling kind of arrogant about it. Could have been very argumentative. And they were up on their high horse and rushed into something here that was stupid because they were denying some kind of truth and hiding it, and it's affecting their self-esteem, their upper chakras here as well. But they're seeing this now, even for those of you where maybe this is a person here at this crossroads, and I think they're seeing that you really broke the mold for them, and that they never expressed it, or that they need to express it, and maybe they don't know how because they've never done that, never been confronted with having to do that in the past. They're also seeing that you are good karmas, and you are kind of a manifestation of their good karmas here as well. But I think this is, if you don't take the path together, because for some of you this is happening in real time, and there just is an opportunity, but I don't think you're too fussed about it, because I think, like I was saying in the beginning, you've come out of something that was very binding, and so it puts you in this really great energy of like kind of take it or leave it, like if this turns out to be the real deal, cool, and it will just kind of need to unfold as we go, because I'm not going to hold on to it too tightly. It's that kind of a feeling. And if you feel a grasping, then I don't know that this maybe is your reading necessarily. But yeah, I think it puts you in like a really good position. But this man needs to go hermit mode, and he needs to be alone. So that means he needs to cut off all of his little playthings, and they are playthings. And he needs to cut off his options here and connect with his heart space, because these people aren't real options. Okay. Not compared to you. You are this man's like heart and soul, and none of these people have that. But if he reduces you down to some, like, I don't know, just a hole or something. I hate to be that way, but then he's gonna think he's got multiple options that are all on the same level and he'll just be fine. No, like, he needs to step up to the plate. So he needs to go hermit mode here. He needs to think about what he's gonna say and how he's gonna say it, and he needs to say it with finesse. And I think this man is good with words. Yeah, but he's maybe used his words in a very destructive way here in the past. But he's, again, being asked to step into a higher vibration here and be very eloquent here with his words and talk very specifically about what it is that he's cutting away from within himself and, like, when it comes to other people, especially if there's other people here that you know about, and why he's doing that and the vision in the future that he sees for himself. And it needs to come after a period of time where he was absolutely alone. So if this person ruined things with you, started a fight with you, and then did not go hermit mode and instead was trying to, again, play around and distract and have horrible no coping skills, then he's not in this, right? He's not in this, and he's going to have to learn this later when he's getting older, and maybe when he is going through a period of, like, ill health or something that, like, leads him alone. And maybe he's dealing with somebody who is very, again, manipulative or cold or has cut him off in some way. Then he's going to realize what exactly went on here in his past. So he's got two roads. I'm hearing two roads diverged in a wood. And he's going to reap what he sows here with the Three of Wands. And I think this person owes, oh, look, is this a little matchbook? Project Virtue. That is prescient. Project Virtue. Yeah, and it looks like a little matchbox or a little book. Again, he needs to communicate something here and maybe even write it down. Maybe he needs to even, like, journal something and then come back and say, like, look, I've ended these 3, like, relationships, this third party situation, this horrible dynamic here that keeps me low and has maybe hurt you, and that maybe he threw at you like a weapon or has thought about, trying to get you to compete for him or something. He needs to be very eloquent about that. And for some of you, you met this person in the past, he chose to go down a different path, and he's now getting a big wake-up call as to who he's really been here in this situation. Yeah, judgment. This is a period of judgment here. I just heard there's a restriction in finance, and maybe there's a restriction in the way he's coming across. So it could have been a decline physically, in terms of health. Like, he's no longer coming across the way that he used to come across because people have kind of caught on to him. But there also could have been a restriction in his, like, money or his career or something. Again, all of this is very karmic because Spirit is saying he needs to go within. Look, and then Santa Muerte. And I literally am getting, like, saint death. Like he is learning the saintliness of this death energy. When you cut things off that are no longer serving you, that are keeping you held in a gross karmic pattern, literally saint death. The saintly side of this letting go energy. The death energy that fertilizes the soil for the coming spring kind of a thing. Yeah. And look, now he's, like, pouring into himself. He needs to drink from that cup rather than whatever he was doing here in the past that was unequal give and take. And he needs to recognize that you are special and you're different to him. He needs to honor that. And I think he needs to honor it out loud in order to offer his heart to you, because you're not going to accept anything less than that. I'm really getting that. This is your energy. If this is the message for you, you're a very strong, confident person, and you're just not going to tolerate disrespect. Like, I kind of think you're not in a position where you want to jump into anything too serious, which is why you're in this kind of take it or leave it mode, even though I think you're a very, like, commitment-minded person, and at the very least, you just believe in treating people well and being above board about whatever it is that you have going on. But I'm just getting that you are not wanting to be disrespected, So again, it puts you in this very much, like, you're wanting to experience freedom. And if you can with this person, then it very much aligns, with where you're going and you're fine with it. But if not, then I feel like you're free, kind of letting that go. So I'll get some messages and then I'll call it a day. Okay, actually, I'm gonna pull a couple of these. Retreat. Yeah, this is that hermit energy. Time alone in nature will help you recharge. This is for you. I feel like you want to go on a retreat, and some of you might be encouraged to go on some kind of retreat and spend a lot of time in nature or something, but I feel like that's this person. Yeah, spiritual lesson. This person needs to spend time alone in order to learn this spiritual lesson. Because again, I think they distract themselves, and they distract themselves from their own feelings of unworthiness, probably by living a life that looks very flashy, or like, oh, they have it all. They're like Mr. Big Man or Mr. Big Lady, like, or Miss Big Lady, right? They owe you an apology. This is so clear. They need to retreat, learn a spiritual lesson, so that they can give you the apology that you deserve. And this is not some rinky-dink apology either. This person needs to give you the apology that you deserve. And look, rejection. This rejection is actually divine protection. So if you felt rejected in this situation, it could be because Spirit has a new love and a new path that's opening up for you. Yeah, that Spirit is aligning you with. That's a very fated partnership. This is a destined partnership. Yeah, so but if this person needs to apologize for rejecting you or making you feel rejected, and they need to ask for your forgiveness. Forgiving yourself or another will help you move forward, and they need to forgive themselves for being in this low-ass energy. And part of the way they're going to forgive themselves is by understanding why they do this in the first place, that it's really just one giant coping mechanism, but it's negative coping because it's coping at the expense of healthful behavior in other areas of their life. Wait, the timing is not quite right. I really actually think that I kind of think maybe the way that I'm describing this, if there's this crossroads moment and then there's a reflection period for this masculine energy, that might be the way that this relationship is fated to play out. And either he's going to come back and do what he needs to do, or you're going to go on a different path and meet somebody new. But I think that if this relationship between you and this masculine was ever going to work out, he needed to get this reality check. He always needed to be in hermit mode. Okay. So try not to blame yourself for whatever went on here, because it just is a reflection of this negative patterning that he's been in, that he needs to, I'm hearing, redress the karmic balance here. Acceptance. So, and use this as an opportunity to practice acceptance. Everything happens for a reason. So your guides are really reassuring you. I'm also hearing your guides say, look, we needed you to see this about this man. We needed you. And I'm hearing that Taylor Swift song. It's like, and down here from the ground, I see who you are. So you needed to have a reality check with this man. You needed a healthy dose of reality with this gentleman here. In order for you to really choose him or not choose him. But you needed to see not a fantasy, not a delusion. You need to see exactly what you're dealing with, because he's not practiced good, healthy, like, relationship skills. And it's, again, he needs to make you need to understand that he has a decision to make as to who he's going to be. It doesn't, and try not to take it personal, because he's really choosing himself and a healthier way of being and coming out of some dark energy. Or he's not. And that's, if he chooses himself, it's naturally going to lead to you. And if he doesn't, it's naturally going to lead to, I just heard a period of disgrace, and where he is debased and he falls and he's just getting himself further stuck in some kind of like karmic cycle. And you will need to practice boundaries here. Firm boundaries are now needed. I think he's also going to have to put up some boundaries. And you are going down another path where you are going to find a friendship that maybe leads to more kind of true love. And then I think this person's going to long for you, someone secretly yearning for you, and they wish that they would have gone slow, and they know that there's no easy way to redress the balance here if this person has walked away from their opportunity to do that, because Spirit is giving this person an opportunity to do that. They might be in denial about that for a while, at least until this person goes into hermit mode. So if you let me, I'll take care of you. I think this is actually your energy naturally. Like, I think you're naturally a caretaker, and I think it gets you in situations with people who are wounded birds. And Spirit kind of needs you to understand that there's an upside to that, and that makes you wonderful and sparkly, but there's also a downside to that, and you're not to be a doormat, or you're not to be an enabler. And if you feel like you're not getting treated well, you can, boundaries, like I said, choose a different path, and boundaries. That's something that you're learning, and you're learning your own self-worth, and that you deserve a partner, you know? You can help all the people that you want, but maybe not your partner should be your partner, you know, kind of thing. Maybe that's something that you're learning. But I also think this person wants to take care of you here as well. Messages from this person. Look, I'm playing games on purpose. I knew it. Look, but at the bottom of the deck, I'm ready. So this person, they're ready. I never met anyone like you before. I'm planning on messaging you soon. This person might have been playing a little game to try to put you in a position that they felt comfortable with, where they thought they had all the control, because they have never met anybody like you before, and they wanted to send you some kind of message. So they were trying to like sweeten the deal or lay the field or something like that. I'm still healing. You're still healing during all this. But I think this person is scared that you're moving on. I'm not sure what I'm feeling. Yeah, so maybe this person wanted to give you the feeling that they're moving on. Maybe you felt that fear, and then you were like, I'm not really sure what to feel here, because I kind of know that if you're not a dick, then I wouldn't be feeling that. You know? So I think they put you in a hermit mode. Maybe. What else is this person? I have a secret. I've been having regrets. But look, this person has a secret. I wish you wouldn't push me away. I don't feel ready. I feel you're unpredictable. I'm emotionally unavailable. This person has a lot of emotions that they suppress, and that they're trying this. If this person's coming off non-emotional, they're not. They're doing that because they're trying to maintain control. This person is all about maneuvering you into some kind of position where he feels like he's in control and he wants to disadvantage you. This is not partner energy. Again, karma. This is everything in this person's life that is shit comes from this. This is the root cause of their karma. And that comes from a sense of feeling inadequate, feeling insecure. And they need to address, you can't fill up that hole for this person. They need to go within themselves, right? But they have a secret. They don't want you to push them away, but they don't know how to behave in a way that's going to make you feel safe and comfortable, because they actually don't feel ready. But look at the bottom, it's like, I'm ready, you know? Spirit saying this person is ready to kind of make this choice. And they've been having regrets because they are not a trustworthy person. And I think they think you know that. Okay, anything else here from this person? You might want to, this is the kind of person you can't only listen to what they say. You have to, I'm hearing hypocrite. You have to really put this person through the hypocrite test. They can't be saying one thing and doing another. And this is going to be a hard person to tell, because they're very good at compartmentalizing their life and keeping secrets. That's what they've been practicing. Okay, so you're up against kind of a professional in terms of being a liar. Yeah, I think Spirit just doesn't want you to go into this naive, you know, all wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. You have to know exactly who you're dealing with here. Love doesn't feel like enough. You drive me crazy. I feel stuck. You're on my mind the most. I feel like this is all your energy. Like, you feel a draw to this person, but then they drive you crazy because they don't act right. And then love doesn't feel like enough. Yeah, you're not going to throw everything over just because of the feelings between the two of you, but you've had to think about this because you feel the love, but then you see the games and you know that it's a real risk. And if he's not going to come clean, and Spirit might have given you dirt on this person as well. So you can have a metric of measuring whether or not this person is in good energy or not. I think you're hot. I think that's shared energy between the two of you. And look, it said, I believe only in science and facts. That's where I feel like put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. I can see you're a smarmer. I can see you're a charmer, and I'm really not interested in that side of you. That's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.